What's going on, you guys? Big Dude 75 here, aka Vince Salerno, and this is my review of Cobra Kai Season 1. So Cobra Kai is the long-awaited sequel to the Karate Kid franchise in the form of a YouTube Red television show. Can't really say you could qualify that as a television show since it's streaming. It takes place 34 years after the original Karate Kid franchise, or specifically the first movie, and it shows Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso's lives 34 years later. They're both fathers. Daniel LaRusso is a very successful car dealership owner, hasn't touched karate in years, has a pretty great life, 2 great kids, well, 1 great kid, 1 snot-nosed brat, and a beautiful wife, luxurious house. Johnny Lawrence, however, is getting the short end of the stick, can barely pay rent, loses his job within the first episode. He's living off Hot Pockets and greasy, dirty gas station pizza through meeting his neighbor and this resentment and hatred for Daniel LaRusso and for him putting him on his ass or kicking him in the face 34 years ago that causes him to resurrect the dojo that he trained at, Cobra Kai, which resurrects this tension between Johnny and Daniel, and you see the continuation of this saga and these 2 character dynamics, something that was never really thought about or explored until now. So I have a vague love for the Karate Kid franchise. I love the first movie. I think it's one of the greatest 80s gems of all time. I have not seen the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th movies, but I've seen enough to know that these movies, not good. Not good. Maybe the 2nd one, I don't know. But 3 and 4, especially like the new Karate Kid, the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank, it's like, ooh, man. Talk about a cash grab, wow. I remember my dad showed me the first movie, I think almost 10 years ago. It's a great movie. It's a classic. I love it. There were references I didn't get in this show, but I could tell there were some things that stood out to fans of this franchise, which is what great nostalgia should do. And it's great that some people may think, sequels, why are you rebooting stuff? Why are you continuing things? Why don't you just let it die? Let it be. But sometimes they can be really good. Like the resurrection of Star Wars. Say what you want, I'm a big fan of most of what they're doing, and Cobra Kai is kind of no different. They're focusing on the relationships between these characters and not so much the nostalgia, but it is that nostalgia that keeps us, coming back and having fresh new takes on these beloved characters and having a new interpretation of characters that we may not have really appreciated much. This is shown the most through Johnny Lawrence. This is a character who was sort of a throwaway villain, throwaway bully. I don't think he was really on people's minds when they think of Karate Kid. I've not seen the actor William Zaza. Oh man, I can't think of the name. I was blinded by the light, but now I'm not, because I put the blinds up. I got to do that before. They were actually broken. Now they're fixed, so I can do things like this and get good lighting. So Johnny Lawrence was not a character that anybody really gave a crap about after the first movie. I think there's a moment they ignore where Johnny Lawrence gives Daniel the trophy, hands it to him at the end of the movie, and it's kind of like this peace offering between the 2 of them. At least I interpret it as that. But I guess he forgot about that and still hates Daniel. The point I'm trying to make, it's this character that no one really cared about, but they find a way to make us sympathize with him by showing how broken of a man he is. All he does is be mean to people and drink a lot. He thinks about how much he hates Daniel LaRusso, and he drinks a lot, drives around in his car, trying to hit on girls 20 years younger than him, and he drinks a lot. A lot of drinking. I'm surprised he doesn't have alcohol poisoning at this point. He drinks a lot. But he gets it off. He gets off the drinking. He finds a way to rebuild his life through this kid. The kid's name? Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai.
Sorry, I couldn't find
Cobra Kai TV show.
Sorry, I couldn't find any.
The Karate Kid. Just when you think Siri is, like, actually helping you out, she doesn't. Damn it, I gotta freaking Google Cobra Kai now. Okay, I was right, his name's Miguel. When he meets Miguel, he's really, like, sort of has this resentment towards him. He doesn't want anything to do with him, doesn't want to socialize with the neighbors, nothing like that. But it's through this hatred of Daniel LaRusso wanting to get back at him that he uses his kid to train, help him out with bullies and all that dumb stuff that you deal with in high school, which is absolutely stupid. If you're a bully, then quit being a bully. But it's through him that he learns to be a good person. And, initially he has this sort of hardened practice that his former mentor at Cobra Kai had, and it's through recruiting some of the most unlikely of people in Cobra Kai, like all these nerds, these overweight people, just these people who have no confidence or can't defend themselves. It's through Cobra Kai that they learn to defend themselves, to be confident. Johnny sees the results and the brutality of Cobra Kai, and at the end of the season, he doesn't want that to happen. He tells Miguel, you don't have to fight dirty. You can fight clean, you can still win this, but at that point, Miguel's already too far gone, and Johnny sees, the problem with Cobra Kai. And I think that's a great thing going into the next season, which it's renewed for season 2, so we're getting more Cobra Kai, yes! Let's also talk about Daniel, though. Daniel's the secondary main character, of course the main character of the whole franchise, and you see that he's kind of a bully in a way too. And there's that video that went around that the theory of whether Daniel is actually the villain or the bully in the Karate Kid movie. And Johnny actually talks about his perspective of Daniel stepping in on his girl. Just this perspective change. You see what he was thinking that moment, and that he was sort of the victim of the whole situation, and not Daniel. He was trying to defend himself and get this kid to butt out of his business. Maybe both of them didn't handle it very well, but it's like the producers probably saw that video and thought, let's just sneak it in there, let's see what people say. And it's great because it's what makes us sympathize with Johnny, because he has good intentions. He's not a bad guy. He just had a bad break. And we see Daniel has this sense of confidence now with a great life. Snot-nosed brat of a kid. The kid pisses me off so much in the show. Oh my gosh. He's got this cockiness to him and this manipulation. He tries to raise up the rent for all the stores in the valley where that strip mall is, where Cobra Kai is. Johnny meets in front of the karate board to talk about getting Cobra Kai reinstated into the competitions, and Daniel LaRusso just goes off on him and just says some really mean, nasty things that makes him look bad. And that's when Johnny really learns to, contain self-control and to, talk about how these kids have really made an impact on him, and that he, wants to do good and wants to do better than what Cobra Kai was before. And it really paints, in some cases, in a way Daniel as a villain, which is really cool. But he's not the main villain, of course. And both of them have hero-like and villain-like qualities to them, and you see them butting heads and constantly being friends. One of my favorite episodes in this season is the second to last one, when Johnny goes to Daniel's house and he wants to beat him up because he thinks that his brother-in-law or his cousin was hired by Daniel to take the crap out of his car, although his cousin actually went because he's just an idiot. But they're forced to work things out because Daniel's wife tells him to. He has to get him a new car, and that causes them to do this little joyride test drive around town. They find out they both like REO Speedwagon and are jamming out to Take It on the Run. Great song, by the way. And they go to a bar and they start drinking and talking about the girl that they were fighting over in the first movie, and seeing her husband and telling him he's a dork or a loser, and Johnny doesn't know what Facebook is, and they're going back to Johnny's place to have a fight for fun, like Rocky III style thing, seeing the potential of how they could be friends. but they always clashing, butting heads. So I think going forward with this series, we're always going to see them not be friends. We're always going to be best frenemies. But I think there's definitely potential for them. Like they can get along, and I think it'll be interesting to see what the results will be of their relationship. If they'll always be enemies, or if they'll always be friends sometimes and enemies sometimes. But it'd be really cool if they could actually like work out their differences and become friends, and maybe like do a co-op dojos.
I don't believe it, not for a minute. You're under the guns, are you?
Okay, so camera died, so I had to charge the battery, but I just rewatched a clip from Cobra Kai, and again, just going back to Johnny Lawrence's sort of journey comes full circle when he realizes the brutality and the wrongdoings of Cobra Kai, and he sees that in Miguel, where he doesn't want to, there's nothing dirty about winning, no mercy, and it's like, oh snap. So like I wonder if his tactics are going to change within the next season of Cobra Kai, because again, season 2 overall, this is a really good show. The acting is a little off sometimes from Ralph Macchio and William Zazu. Cannot think of his name for the life of me. Sorry. Acting's a little off, a little cheesy at some points, but the story and the characters, they seem grounded, they seem real, they feel like a natural continuation. There's a lot of great callbacks and references and tributes to the original movies, including a scene where we visit Mr. Miyagi's grave, and Daniel's seeking counsel and guidance, and we see some great flashbacks from the original movie. It's just very well crafted, where they combine the flashbacks and the new show. It's a great show. A lot of great drama, a lot of great character entanglements. Some things I didn't talk about, like Johnny Lawrence's son being the new Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso taking on the Miyagi role and training Johnny Lawrence's son to be like the next Karate Kid, and just seeing that. That causes a lot of drama, obviously, and Miguel dating Daniel's daughter, who's an okay actress. I'm not a huge fan of her, but she was all right. I'm not gonna discredit anybody, because everyone does a good job. They work with what they have, but he's dating her, and that causes tension between him and Johnny. Just so many great character relationships and dynamics. I was really surprised at how much I liked it, and I cannot wait to see the continuation of the story. And I cannot wait to watch it again. I watched it like 2-3 weeks ago, and I cannot wait to watch it again. It's such a great, fun, emotionally engaging show. Even if you're not a fan of Karate Kid, you can still watch it and really get engaged. And if you haven't seen Karate Kid, what are you doing with your life? Get out there and see Karate Kid. And that concludes my review of Cobra Kai Season 1. Thank you guys for watching this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel where you can check out my short films and my trailer reactions. My podcast, the Vince Salerno podcast, is transitioning over to Anchor, which allows my podcast to also be on Apple Podcasts and iTunes. So check out my podcast on iTunes, the Vince Salerno podcast. I'm gearing up to do my Avengers Infinity War review with as many special guests as I can fit into it. It's going to be the culmination of all fans of the MCU. Hopefully people submit their audio recording. Go ahead and email me at vincentsalerno@gmail.com. You can send me a MP3 of your audio recording, and I will try to fit it into the podcast, as many as I can. All right, well, have a great day. God bless. Peace out. Was really impressed by it, and I was surprised at how much I was going to like it. I could tell that there were some things that I didn't get, but they stood out to devoted fans of the French fries. Oh, and sorry about the washer. Just kind of randomly wanted to do this, so sorry about that. But sucks to suck.